Well, I've been asked to comment on some questions, a number of questions, and I have three of them that I've sort of put together to start out with. First one has to do with defining what we mean by, or what I mean by, religion. Second one has to do with, would we be religious, or would there be religion if we weren't going to die, if all humans weren't faced with death as a prospect. And the third one is, how would I respond to someone who said there's so much evil in the world, God can't exist? And when I think about what religion is, I'm sure there are technical definitions that people have proposed, but I'm not going to refer to any of those. What I mean by religion most generally is the human response to some experience of the transcendent, something that is experienced as beyond us. Now, beyond transcendent, how could it be experienced? Not necessarily hearing a voice, but I mean in yearning, in fear, in great experience of love, and so on. When we talk about religions, we're usually talking about organized religion, which is a different matter. And I'm not addressing that at this point. Some colleagues of mine have argued that religion arises because we do face death, or whatever it is that we ultimately fear. Nothing goes on forever, and there's always a defining moment, a limit to our horizon. Others have argued that we experience religion in the experience of guilt. I think all of that is possible, but I don't limit the ways in which we experience the transcendent, both because I think human experience is very broad and very complex, and also because I happen to think God is not limited by the ways we define we're going to catch God's word or experience God's presence. So I know persons, for instance, whose openness to the transcendent comes through an experience of profound gratitude. Others who experience it through a kind of new self-knowledge, or awe in the face of nature, etc. The fact that death is on the horizon for all of us, of course, raises some of our sharpest and deepest questions that become religious questions, it seems to me. But again, once again, I don't want to limit the meaning of religion or the possibility of religious response, religious experience to that. And what I'd like to do is share with you an exercise that I have done with groups of women from time to time, or just a class of students, where the issue is, can you be a feminist and a believer, particularly in this case a Christian? Can you be a feminist and a Christian? Or can you be a feminist and a believing Jew? Or can you be a feminist and a practicing Muslim, and so on? And in order not to immediately get into all the problems there are in someone, in fact, being both of those things, I asked the question first, how do you experience, or where, how, when, have you ever experienced the transcendent in your life? And we take time for people to, first of all, think about it and jot down things out of their experience, and then to share those. And it's fascinating, the variety of experiences persons have reported. Some will say, I experienced the transcendent most profoundly in giving birth to my first child. Others will say, when my parents died. Others will say, when I walk in the woods in the fall. Others will say, when I listen to beautiful music. Others will say, when I'm totally confused and I have to reach out somehow beyond myself. All of this or the next question in this exercise is now out of a particular religious tradition. For example, Christianity. Does the gospel have anything to say to those experiences? And usually there are quite important things persons think of. That yes, of course, it does speak to this experience or that experience. Does the Torah speak to these experiences you've described? Now that's the way I think it helps to start opening up religious questions, opening up the question of religion at all, which is to say, to start with our experience.